PCOS friendly lifestyle is a lifestyle. So sometimes you'll have a little bit of gluten. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of dairy, or maybe you won't work out for a while because you don't feel like there's something, it's not going to be perfect. This is life. This is a lifelong thing.
Doctor said you got PCOS. Now go on, girl, just lose some weight. Till I took the symptoms into my own hands and reversed them naturally. So I became a dietitian to help my sisters feel the best they've ever felt. Take a step in my direction if you wanna prove them wrong and take control of yourself. Join a sister and a
What?
Just the way you rest your nose on the mic reminds me of our dog, Wheezy.
I like resting like this.
I don't know if you've ever looked up like videos of boxers on TikTok, but they really like to push things with their nose.
Yeah.
There was one that I just watched where the boxer was like pushing a bunch of snow with his nose, like digging in the snow with his nose. And every time you tend to rest your nose on things, on my shoulder, on your mic, on your hand.
You remember how
you act like a boxer dog sometimes?
Remember how Wheezy was our boxer dog? He passed away 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Rest in peace. But how he would like sniff, like he would come up to your like face and go. To this day, like I do that to Italian or just to everybody, like not everybody, but like to Italian all the time.
I know.
It's so funny to me. I know like other dogs do it too. I think it's the funniest thing that dogs do. They just come to your face and just go.
I can't wait to get a dog, you guys. I cannot wait.
We are dying to get a dog.
We are dying.
We are 3 months away from the house finishing.
Oh, let's talk about the house for a second.
I mean, I don't want to make this a super long episode.
I'm just saying, we're making decisions. Yesterday, I purchased all of the light fixtures and chandeliers for the house.
Yeah.
We chose all of the tile that we needed. The man who has to measure how much tile we need came over to measure it. The man who is going to build the banister came over. We chose the banister. We chose the hand rail that you hold the banister with. And then there was a third guy that came. I forgot what he did. What did he do?
The flooring.
The flooring guy.
Grind the flooring.
He walked around. He liked the flooring we chose, yada, yada. We chose the marble. I mean, we're making decisions here.
It's funny because like for months, we've been going back and forth on how we're going to tile this bathroom, how we're going to tile the guest bathroom. And like yesterday, like Tyan said, we went to the store. We're going to pick the one today. We don't care if we don't like this one. We're just going to pick it and we're going to go with it.
We love it.
And that's it. Yeah.
But I knew what we wanted at that point. It wasn't like this new thing. Like I searched near and far. Once you've seen everything.
You were different though yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday you were like, we're gonna pick it today.
I wasn't leaving.
Because even I was like,
we have till 5:00. It's 4:43. You're gonna pick this tile, Sirak.
I know. Because I was like, I don't know about this color and this. You're like, just we're doing it. We're doing it.
I've had it.
We're going with a green theme in the guest bathroom.
Yes. It's gonna be
AKA future kids' bathroom.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes. It's not like super green, but the tile's green and it's a refreshing feeling. That's what the bathroom is gonna be like.
Yeah, exactly.
Refreshing. All right, sisters, we're super excited. We're gonna show you on Instagram.
Yeah. Now, like speaking of it too, because like it feels like the year has gone by really fast because of this house construction.
Yeah.
Just like to give you a little feedback too, or behind the scenes, like we bought our house back in July of last year, but we didn't do anything for like 6 months just because we had to like, 1, prepare for it, 2, save up money, 3, just, we weren't ready for it essentially. We finally started construction in February after 6 months. So now it's like going really fast. But like, so for us as a result, the first 3 months of the year have gone by really fast because we're like juggling the house, we're juggling Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, like every podcast, everything. And I'm sure like, maybe you feel the same way, like the first 3 months of 2024 are over, but maybe you feel like you're not on track with your New Year's resolution. You feel like you need to restart. We feel like we're behind on like the house. Like, oh my gosh.
We could have started 6 months ago.
Yeah, and like it feels like we're not where we want to be at. And of course, like the house and you with PCOS isn't the same thing. Of course, like your PCOS is a lot more serious, but I'm sure you can kind of like relate to like how it feels when like a whole like 3 months goes by and you don't feel like you're where you want to be.
Yeah, like you had expectations and the expectations weren't met. And then you kind of freeze up, don't want to do it anymore. Maybe you don't believe in yourself. I'm at a point where like I can't even imagine moving into this house. Even though like we're doing all of these things, like I cannot even imagine living in this house and having like a normal life, just me and you in our own home. And it happens. Like you get really caught up in like the negativity and like, why are we, why is it taking so long, this and that. But I couldn't relate more. That's a really great way to segue into what this podcast is going to be about.
So, this episode is going to basically encourage you and give you the next steps in restarting your PCOS weight loss journey for this year, basically, and for the rest of your life, essentially. So we'll be sharing tips on how to find what works for your body and how to stick to it. And some things to kind of avoid, for example, mentally or physically negativity to avoid falling into. Okay, I'm not making any sense right now.
You're saying falling into negative mindset patterns.
Thank you, Tony, for completing that sentence.
I knew what you were saying.
All right. Before we get started, though, let's start with our Motivation Tuesday wins from fellow sisters in the sisterhood. The first win is from Emma. She says, "Hi, sisters. I got inspired by Talline's IG meal prep reels, so I decided for the last 2 weeks to more intentionally try Talline's recipes in the app using my 90 to 120 carb tolerance." I love that she mentioned her carb tolerance. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, she's referring to eating 90 to 120 grams of carbs per day. It seems like that's what her tolerance is. I want to share what I made. Brownie batter overnight oats, chicken piccata meatballs with bonza pasta, and Greek sheet pan dinner. Wow, all gluten dairy free, it sounds like.
Gorgeous.
And let me tell you, they were all delicious and helped me stay on track with my nutrition goals. No blood sugar spikes, and when tracking my food, the carbs did in fact tally up to exactly 120 grams per day.
Nice.
She puts a shock face. Truly amazing and thankful Taline already did the hard part for us. Along with taking Ovasitol, I even noticed I'm getting full and not craving additional sweets like I used to. I am also not missing the extra carbs. My favorite feature in the app is the grocery shopping list because I can just add my meals I want to make and then it calculates exactly what I need to buy. A life and stress saver. I even saved money not roaming the aisles getting whatever I wanted. She puts a laughing emoji. Thank you. Wow.
That's so nice. Yeah. What a nice message. Oh my God, it makes me want to go downstairs and do a meal prep reel right now.
Yeah, look at all the images. Look at all the pictures of the chicken piccata. Look at she meal prepped her breakfast into all these different bowls, so she just has it. She can just pull it out the fridge and eat it every morning. So amazing. For anyone in the Facebook group, if you just search up Emma in the post history, you'll see like all the things she posted about. But for anyone who's like has no idea in terms of how the app works, the app essentially creates a personalized meal plan for you for the next 4 weeks. And it basically creates a new one every single month as you finish the months. And like once you select your carb tolerance, let's say your carb tolerance is 90 to 120 like Emma's is. It will basically recalculate all the ingredients and all the recipes to make it fit within the carb tolerance for the entire day. So your entire day of recipes will basically be according to the total carb tolerance.
Yeah, so you'll always stay within your carb tolerance by eating whatever was planned for you that day.
Yeah, all those meals are gluten dairy free. And she talked about the grocery shopping list is basically for whatever. Let's say you want to go grocery shopping. Well, you can be like, okay, I want to grocery shop for the next week or for the next 3 days. You can put a custom date range and it will basically spit out all the groceries with quantities next to each item. So it's literally like a personalized meal plan with a grocery shopping list for you.
I love this message. It really made my day right now. I can't wait to move into this house. I'm going to make so many cooking reels of me meal prepping. It's going to be like the only content we make.
Can't wait.
Zinc, vitamin D, magnesium, B12. These are all the vitamins that we're deficient in because of PCOS, and the list grows on.
If there was only a way to get all of these into one supplement bundle without going on a massive online search.
Hello.
What?
Isn't that why we created Metabolism Plus?
Oh, you mean our supplement line that covers all the nutrients and vitamins a woman with PCOS needs in one bundle?
Yes. Sisters, when I was diagnosed with PCOS, I was so overwhelmed with researching all the different supplement companies, and eventually I had a huge collection of bottles in my cabinet that I couldn't even keep up with.
So with that in mind, we created a bundle of 4 essential supplements that have the fundamental nutrients for women with PCOS, and it's called Metabolism Plus.
Not only does our bundle include omega-3, coenzyme Q10, curcumin, but it even has a multivitamin designed to fill nutrient gaps that are common in women with PCOS.
And what makes it really special is that all of our supplements are NSF certified, which means they are third-party tested for purity and accuracy.
Head over to ovafit.org to order your Metabolism Plus bundle today.
That's ovafit.org.
Okay, stop smelling. The link is in the description.
How dare you?
Okay, let's get into the episode and talk about how to restart your PCOS journey. We actually did a poll in the sisterhood and we asked our sisters, where are you at in your PCOS journey right now? And so let's read off some of the answers.
Sure. The third highest answer at 25% was, I'm consistently managing my PCOS, but I'm always looking for ways to improve.
Nice. 31% said, I'm just starting my PCOS health journey.
That was the second highest. And the 44%, the highest on the list, was, I've started and fallen off track. I'm restarting now.
Well, girl, this episode is for you.
Yes. And it's very common for anyone, if you're in this boat of like, you feel like you've fallen off track or you're restarting, it's honestly very common. And it's not that it's common to quote unquote fail, but it's common to start your journey and maybe there were some things that didn't work, and then along the way making adjustments to come back even stronger and continue that journey with even a better, set of tools. So just want, it's not that you're like restarting from scratch. You just basically, you learn some stuff along the way. Maybe some things didn't work, and now you're going to get back onto with a better set of tools where you improved from last time.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Because this PCOS journey, we're not going to be perfect at it. It's not going to be this black and white, cut everything out cold turkey, and tomorrow you're great at like this lifestyle. Like that's really hard. So let's get into the first tip.
Yeah, so we're going to do 7 tips on how to restart your journey. So this is going to be great for you.
Yes.
We have a bonus tip at the very end too, so wait for the bonus tips at the very end.
Yes. Tip number 1, stop feeling guilty, okay? This is a lifestyle, not a diet, okay? If you haven't been completely consistent, it doesn't matter because you probably did do some things that were very helpful for your PCOS journey. So let's not focus on the negative and drag yourself down and feel guilty because you weren't perfect at it.
Yeah.
PCOS friendly lifestyle is a lifestyle. So sometimes you'll have a little bit of gluten. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of dairy, or maybe you won't work out for a while because you don't feel like there's something, it's not going to be perfect. This is life. This is a lifelong thing.
Yeah, like you should always remind yourself, it's okay if you accidentally had dairy or gluten. It's okay if you chose to indulge a little more on a sweet treat. It's okay if you missed a slow way to work out. It's okay if you were hungry and you had a snack and like you feel guilty. That's okay. Like if you're feeling hungry, you should do what you feel is right. Like not fill yourself with that guilty feeling.
Yeah, and you can reflect and be like, my cravings were really bad today. I wonder why. Like maybe I skipped breakfast or I didn't have enough protein. And then that kind of makes it a more constructive journey than a journey where you're just beating yourself up every step of the way and you're mad that you're not being perfect at everything.
Yeah. Tip number 2 is getting back on track one step at a time. So what happens a lot of times is, let's say someone starts a New Year's resolution and they have all these things that they're doing slowly to start the year. And then at first it goes great, but then they start to fall off track. And then when they try to restart their journey, they go all like ham by throwing everything at once that they did before. When in reality, you should start everything back up one step at a time. So for example, if you went gluten dairy free, but you couldn't like seem to stick to it after a month or so, try only doing one at a time. Like we teach in the sisterhood, we recommend to go first gluten or dairy free, like one of them first before the other. So that can start with trying eating a gluten free breakfast. Maybe you do that for a little while. And then after that, you do gluten-free lunch and then gluten-free dinner. And then once you feel like, okay, I really nailed this gluten-free thing, now you start doing the dairy-free portion. You start doing dairy-free breakfast along with your gluten-free breakfast, and then lunch, and then dinner. And then you're like, oh, okay, I've done the whole day without gluten or dairy. I'm going to try again tomorrow. And then you build on top of that instead of just trying to do it all at once.
Yeah. We even have a tracker in the app that you can use, and it kind of counts your streaks.
Yes.
Where like, okay, yesterday I was gluten-free, today I was gluten-free, and you can submit like whether or not you were, and you can see your progress.
Yeah.
You can start over if you feel like you're falling off track. I mean, it's like positive reinforcement.
Yeah. At the end of the day, when you use the not, I don't know why it's at the end of the day, but when you basically complete meals in your personalized plan, when you check them off, it will add them to, it will show you how many carbs you've eaten for the day. It will show you how many calories you've eaten for the day if you want. But the other thing it will do is it will track your gluten-free streak. And let's say you haven't eaten gluten for like 4 days, it'll show you 4 days. And once you get to 7 days, for the ones who've done it, if you get to 7 days, it'll do like this whole like emoji of like, woo, we did this, you know, like kind of a way to inspire you. And it'll do that every single week that you continue your streak.
Yeah, it's fun to visually see it. So tip number 3 is to prioritize your sleep. Now, maybe you didn't realize, but sleep has a huge impact on everything. Like the way that you're getting that quality sleep, it's going to dictate your cravings the next day. It's going to dictate your mood, your energy. If your sleep isn't down, I'm not sure how you're going to do your PCOS lifestyle changes. That's what I'm trying to say. Like this is core important thing. If you feel like you're falling off track, let's revisit your sleep. And let's see if that's going well.
Yeah.
And if you want to improve your sleep, you have to reduce your cortisol spikes throughout the day. So that's, maybe quitting the intense workouts or stopping the sugary snacks, taking your Ovasitol so you don't crave them, or cutting out caffeine and pre-workout and energy drinks. And this makes a huge difference. If you want to be able to manage PCOS, you have to get good sleep.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because my cousin texted me this morning. I'll tell you who after. But he's been trying to increase his testosterone recently. He's been taking like supplements, certain supplements that I recommended that helps with like naturally increasing testosterone for men. But he didn't do anything else in terms of improving sleep, improving his diet.
Alcohol. Smoking.
He doesn't smoke.
He doesn't smoke, okay.
And then like he texted me this morning, my testosterone went lower. And I haven't responded to him yet because I haven't had a chance to, but like I'm gonna be like, did you do anything else besides take supplements? Because and this is not to like, I'm not trying to shame anyone or like make anyone feel worse, but it just goes to show like supplements. And I say this as we have our own supplement brand that we've made, like we developed for years, but like supplements aren't the only solution. They supplement what your lifestyle is.
Yeah.
So like if you're taking all the supplements, if you're like doing things like cutting calories, intense workouts, you're doing all these things, but you're like not getting sleep. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm saying cutting calories is good, by the way. I'm just making examples of like extreme things that people do. But like, and you don't get sleep, your body's not gonna do enough to overcome, or the supplements aren't gonna do enough to overcome the poor sleep, which is bringing down all your necessary hormones.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you a real life example of just something I experienced today.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm so curious who it is. Okay, tip number 4. Try working out 1 time a week, then 2 times a week, then 3 times a week, and build on it if you feel like you can't get yourself to the gym. Sometimes working out is like the second component of building your PCOS lifestyle. Maybe you haven't gotten there yet. Don't beat yourself up over it. You just have to start small. You can even start with just walking, if you're not ready to go to the gym. Don't make yourself feel like you're not doing a good job just because you don't have this amazing PCOS workout routine down. Mm-hmm. Your walking is a big enough deal, Good. Go on your walk.
Yeah. Why is walking a big deal? It actually reduces cortisol. Mm-hmm. It improves insulin resistance, or it improves insulin sensitivity. It improves your metabolism. It gives you natural energy. It helps you get vitamin D, which is an essential hormone for PCOS, which will help with anxiety, depression, weight loss, insulin resistance. The list goes on. So like walking, when you like tell yourself, walking is nothing, it's not doing anything, just list those reasons to yourself.
It's good. Yeah. It's good enough, let me tell you.
Yeah, list those reasons to yourself so that negative voice kind of is like, oh, okay, I guess it is good,
Yeah. And then when you're ready to start lifting weights and you feel like you've made time, you've carved out time, you're into it, maybe get a workout buddy. Or, join the sisterhood, post selfies, workout selfies, and we'll all cheer you on. And that will give you that motivation, that vibe, that energy to really get yourself to the gym consistently.
And not just that, like when you start your workout journey, I think a mistake that people make, and this is not anyone's fault, it's just like society as a whole, is they get into these 1.5 hour workout routines, sometimes 2 hours. Like you go to the gym, you're there for 2 hours with a personal trainer or a friend who thinks they're a personal trainer, so they're just making you follow them, do whatever they want to do. And then does that make you want to go back maybe you want to go back the next day or that week or the next week, but does that make you want to go back consistently? Let's say let's say you've had a long entire day from work or school or whatever, and it's a workout day. Are you gonna actually want to go do that workout? Are you gonna feel motivated? Most likely no, and that's not to blame you. It's like nobody would. So that's why like all of our workouts are in the sisterhood and in general, like that we show on Instagram, they're all designed around 30 to 40 minutes. Not because PCOS women are lazy, not because that's all that they can do, but because that's what a perfect workout should be. It should be about 30 to 45 minutes. A little like an hour is okay too, but like in reality, you don't need to work out for an hour to lose weight sustainably. The 30 to 45 minutes is more than enough to improve your insulin sensitivity, is more than enough to help with reducing like PCOS belly, with improving PCOS moon phase, with keeping cortisol levels at a nice level. When you work out for hours, your cortisol levels are going to go rampant. So just keep that in mind. I know I kind of went off the rail here with this tip, but I'm just don't get into these 2 hours a day sessions, because you're not going to want to go back long term.
And thinking that you should be doing 2 hours a day will kind of cripple you and make you not even want to work out at all. Because you're not going to go back and do it.
Yeah, think about it this way. If you did 5 2-hour sessions
a week,
and then a week,
who's
and
going back to the gym after that?
And then gave up after 2 weeks, which anybody would. So that's 20 hours in 2 weeks, right? Versus doing 45 minutes 3 to 4 times a day every week for the next, let's just say for the next 4 weeks or for the next 2 months, 3 months, you're gonna get more out of it. You're gonna you're actually spending more time and you're getting more out of it. So
well said. Tip number 5: stop sabotaging yourself with alcohol.
Yeah, Tali.
And I say this because
I'm joking.
I don't drink at all. I say this because a lot of people think that just like one glass of wine at night or like every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're out drinking. I understand, you've had a rough day. It's so easy to just say, I'm going to have a glass of wine and chill by the fire. And that sounds so nice, honestly. Like, I'm not here to rain on your parade, but it's actually not helping with the PCOS. Okay, maybe for other people, it'll relax them. I still don't think it's good for anyone, frankly. I think it's bad for your quality of sleep at night. Even though you feel like you're passing out, the quality of your sleep is not ideal when you're having alcohol. And then you'll wake up, you'll be more insulin resistant, fatigued the next day, and ultimately it's going to contribute to fatty liver. Yeah. Which, if you've read PCOS SOS, or if you've heard me quote from it, she says, for all women with PCOS at all body weights, even a very small amount of alcohol consumption, even on 1 drink per week, is associated with a dramatic increase in fatty liver disease. Alcohol also increases hyperandrogenism, which is facial hair, acne, hair loss, fatigue. So it's like it's not doing you any favors, and it could be sabotaging your progress and making it harder for you to reach these PCOS goals. And so if you're going to restart, if we're going to reboot right now, we got to think about the things that are sabotaging us, and alcohol is one of them.
Of course, it's not to say don't have fun on a weekend where maybe it's a party or you want to
have a mocktail.
You can have a mocktail for sure, but I'm just saying too,
we have lots of mocktail recipes in the sisterhood.
Absolutely. If you're out to dinner though and you want to have a glass of wine, we're not. There's nothing against that at all. Don't. I hope you don't get us wrong. It's just more so when people think having a cup of wine every night is okay. I've heard this crazy thing. I once saw a PCOS dietitian on Instagram say, a cup of wine a night is okay. Don't be fooled by etc. And then she got so much flack for it that she deleted her post.
No way.
Because everybody was disagreeing with her in the comments, and basically everybody was like,
what are you saying?
How can you suggest a glass of wine a night with fatty liver, with insulin resistance? As the list was on, and she ended up deleting the post.
You have to consider the disease state. You can't just say whatever Google says, because if you Google it, they say 1 glass a night for women or something.
They're actually retracting that now.
Good.
Newest research
I retracted it years ago.
Yeah, I know.
I told them to.
I know. We've been talking about this for years, and now it's people are more and more people are agreeing with it. Not that we started this trend. It's more the doctors and the people who are researching PCOS and related conditions were the ones who were talking about you can't, or not you can't, but they don't recommend drinking a glass a day. But anyway, with that being said, of course,
she retracted her post. That's hilarious. I feel like people post things just to be like, oh, it's fine, everything's fine. These people telling you not to drink and eat gluten are just crazy. Yeah, well, till you go gluten-free and stop drinking and tell me if I'm crazy.
Yeah. But if you do for example, want to have like still something like a cocktail, just you can look up fun mocktail recipes. Where we have like a whole list in the Sisterhood app where there's a whole category for mocktails that you can just have
You could add
any given night.
Ovasitol to it. Feels so good.
Yeah.
Maybe even magnesium powder if you want to sleep better.
But again, we can all have our fun with alcohol. It's just really choosing the time and place and not having it every single night. I think it's like the main thing that we just want to mention here.
Exactly. Tip number 6, learn how to manage your stress better. Kind of ties into alcohol. Find the things that will help you de-stress, and alcohol is not one of them. You have to think like, is scrolling through my phone really de-stressing me at night? Probably not. Sirak's looking at me. And you got to think about maybe reading a book, things that de-stress you. And this can help you because the next day or that day, when you manage your stress, you'll have less cravings and less fatigue, and your mind won't be racing as much. Maybe meditating could help you get to that point.
Yeah.
So I think de-stressing, whether it's through supplements, therapy, yoga, meditation, taking a walking break, can really just nudge you back onto track.
Yeah, exactly. Talian's just been on a bad roll with her phone use at night.
Last night, I was like on Pinterest looking at powder room vanities and like designs for powder rooms. And I just got down a rabbit hole. I couldn't get myself out of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had to.
No, I'm not blaming you.
This house needs to finish, Sirak.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot sleep at night until I know what we're doing to this powder room so we can order the marble and call it a day.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. I will say that I'm not any better because the problem right now is because we're living at Talian's parents' house, our bedroom has a TV. Of course, no one forces me to open the TV and watch it at night, but I love to turn it on at night, get in bed, just like watching a YouTube video or watching something and then like close it and go to sleep, right? But I know it's not the best thing. That's why when we get our new house, no TV in the bedroom, and no phones allowed at night. I will be so strict about this. You don't even know. I will force the phones to be outside in the living room. We'll create a little nook in the living room where it can be charged. But I'm telling you right now, by the bylaws placed upon thee, there will be no phone usage in the bedroom beyond 8 p.m. That's right.
God.
The bylaws have been created. It is on record on this podcast. I want the sisters to follow up on this when we move in and ask, has the bylaws been passed?
You win, Sirak.
That's right, I win. I always win.
Okay, you're right. But right now I need to figure out this powder room, and I don't care what you say. Okay.
Well, with that, let's go to our tip number 7. Is our last tip, but we do have a bonus tip after, so maybe it's not the last tip. But that is what we were talking about earlier, which is don't forget your supplements. We, of course, talked about how supplements by themselves aren't going to cure or fix anything by themselves. The supplements only supplement the diet and lifestyle that you're already doing.
But with PCOS, sometimes it's hard to follow that diet and lifestyle when you have that genetic insulin resistant component. And for example, like if you're genetically insulin resistant, for example, my grandma's diabetic, passed down to me through insulin resistance. I needed Ovasitol. Like there was no like strict diet that was going to work. I was craving sugar. It was just happening, It wasn't about discipline. It was a hormonal issue. And I needed that supplement to help fill that nutrient gap I was missing. So sometimes when it comes to PCOS, not sometimes, all the time, combining supplements with your lifestyle and diet is the best approach because you're probably going to see more progress than without it. And then you're going to beat yourself up if you don't take your Ovasitol because then you're going to crave sugar and be like, why am I eating so much sugar? Well, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
PCOS is a genetic and environmental combination.
Absolutely.
What's the bonus tips?
So some bonus tips to consider. These are really important. The first one is really important in my humble opinion, and that is getting your labs done. Getting a full panel done. If you haven't done this already before starting your PCOS journey, you're going to be amazed when you get your results and how you can actually start treating your PCOS with a more of a targeted approach. For example, let's say you get your labs done and you find out that you actually have hypothyroid, meaning your thyroid is underperforming and it causes your metabolism to slow down. So no matter how little you eat, you can't burn the food off because your metabolism is broken. Finding that out can be huge because you can have maybe a certain series of treatments, maybe some sort of a prescription or some sort of a supplement that can help with your thyroid. Other examples are, of course, insulin resistance, or if something's wrong, if you have low progesterone, if you have any of these hormonal imbalances that is stopping you from losing weight and feeling better, it can do huge wonders in knowing where to get started.
Well said. The next bonus tip is to prioritize your protein. You might not realize, but the cravings you're having in the mid-afternoon could be because you're not eating protein in your lunch or enough protein for your breakfast.
Yeah.
This is like a really good hack. So if you feel like you're falling off track, if you're having a lot of sugar cravings or low energy, take a look at what you're eating. Are you having enough protein? I like to have around 35 grams in every meal, including breakfast.
Yeah, and just starting with breakfast, like testing this 30 grams of protein with breakfast can really open your eyes, because just try it for tomorrow's breakfast. Have 30 to 35 grams and see how you feel for the rest of the day. Do you have less cravings in between meals? Do you feel like your appetite's maybe a bit more controlled? You don't feel like you're constantly looking for snacks. Like it can make a huge difference. Just test it out and see how it goes.
Yes. Another bonus tip is to find your carb tolerance. So if you feel really fatigued after your meal, or if you feel like you're really craving sugar and sweets, this could be something to do with eating too much or too little carbs, and discovering your carb tolerance, which is actually something we show you in the Sisterhood app. I don't want to get into it in this whole episode because I could talk about it for hours. It can make a huge difference in your PCOS journey as well.
Yes, exactly. And then last but not least, that is changing your workouts up. Whether you're doing really intense workouts or maybe you're wondering where to get started, just changing your workouts up a little bit to see how they impact your day-to-day results or week-to-week results will make a huge difference. So for example, if you've been doing some sort of form of like a spin class, maybe you were doing HIIT for months, you're not really seeing the results that you want or that you deserve, try switching it to something a little bit more less intensity and don't feel bad about it. For example, switching to Pilates instead of a spin class, for example, or switching to a slow weighted workout, switching to a lower intensity sort of weight training, anything like that. Just try and see how you feel, and don't feel guilty if you're not doing enough. Just try it and see how you feel after a few weeks, and if you may be surprised at the results that you see.
Yes. So I feel like these were really strong tips, sisters, to help you restart your journey. I hope you feel more encouraged and you feel like, empowered to take your next steps, realize that this is a lifestyle, maybe reflect on some of the things that you did do well, and move forward, because you got this. And we are here to cheer you on every step of the way. Don't forget, managing PCOS, it involves a lot of investigation, learning everything one step at a time. And we're not fighting our PCOS or pushing our bodies past its limits. We're actually being really understanding our bodies and almost becoming like a professional for ourselves.
Yes, exactly. Awesome.
Well said, right?
Oh, very well said.
A professional at understanding ourselves. I feel like that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, that's really good thing you said. It's very true.
Well, sisters, we'll talk to you next time on another episode of A Sister and Her Mister.
Yes. Until then, take care, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
What if you had an app for PCOS that could tell you what to eat, when to work out, and how to track your goals every day?
Introducing the Sisterhood app. Not only does the Sisterhood app give you access to the largest community of women with PCOS, but it also provides you with a daily PCOS plan.
Your daily PCOS plan tells you exactly what to eat for each meal of the day. It's like having me as a dietitian in your pocket. It also sends you a notification when it's time to work out, and it provides step-by-step videos to help you reverse your biggest PCOS symptoms.
You also get access to 100 plus gluten and dairy-free recipes, the 5 Steps to PCOS Weight Loss Masterclass, and a full PCOS-friendly workout library to choose from.
But let's not forget the most crucial component of PCOS weight loss, the support. You're not alone. In the Sisterhood, you become part of the largest community of PCOS women where you can chat with us in our private Facebook group. Sirak, myself, and your fellow sisters are in there every day to answer your questions and support you along the way.
So what are you waiting for? You can head over to the App Store and search Sisterhood, or click the link in the description to get started today.
See you in there.